Let's start with something you have always suspected. The more deeply you care, the more it hurts. It's a cruel secret life whispers through every heartbreak and unanswered hope. That the very act of loving, of hoping, of reaching out, also sows the seeds of your own pain.
You learn this truth through scars on your heart. Every time you opened yourself to someone or something, you gave the world a weapon to wound you. The nights of crying into your pillow and the days of emptiness afterward taught you that caring can feel like bleeding. Think back to the last time you cared deeply and got hurt. Maybe it was a friend who betrayed your trust, or a lover who drifted away. You remember the shock, the disbelief. How could caring so much lead to so much pain? It felt like the world played a cruel joke on your heart. In those moments, your chest tightens and your throat burns. A hollowness opens where your happiness used to be. It's a physical ache, as if your very soul is bruised. You gave everything, and now each shattered expectation stabs at you. The weight of disappointment settles in your chest, making it hard to breathe. Caring deeply comes with unspoken expectations. You expect others to value you as much as you value them, or life to reward your devotion. When those expectations crumble, heartbreak rushes in. The higher the hope, the harder it falls. You start to wonder if caring was the problem all along. It's as if the universe punishes those who care deeply. You give your heart freely, only to have it returned in pieces. You pour your soul into a dream, only to see it dashed by reality. The more you care, the more life can take from you. It makes you wonder if caring is worth it. You're not alone in feeling this. You may think no one could understand the depth of your pain, but many hearts silently scream the same truth. It's a secret nearly everyone lives with. To care is to be vulnerable, to risk agony. And you've felt that agony more times than you want to admit. Why does it hurt so much to care? Why does something so pure and human, loving, hoping, striving, lead to such sorrow? It feels unfair, doesn't it? Yet here you are, picking up the pieces of your heart again, wondering what cruel law of life makes caring hurt every time. Is the pain inevitable, or have you been doing something wrong by caring at all? Centuries ago, a philosopher peered into this very dilemma and came back with a grim answer. His name was Arthur Schopenhauer, and he believed he found the source of all this suffering. To Schopenhauer, the pain that shadows your caring heart was no accident. It was the inevitable result of desire. He claimed that as long as you want something deeply, you are inviting sorrow into your life. Schopenhauer saw the human heart always yearning. The more you want, the more you hurt. Life, he said, is an endless cycle of craving and disappointment. You crave love, security, meaning, and that craving becomes a curse. The world rarely matches your hopes, and even when it does, satisfaction never lasts. As soon as one desire is met, another arises, keeping you restless. When you pin your happiness on someone or something, you hand over control of your well-being. That friend, that lover, that dream can change, fail, or vanish. And when it does, it takes a part of your soul with it. Schopenhauer would say your own will, your intense wanting, has been dragged through a world that doesn't care about your plans. Imagine pouring all your love into another person, or all your effort into a dream. In each moment of longing, you feel anticipation and a lurking fear that it could all collapse. That fear is the shadow of desire. Every setback is torment when your heart is chained to an outcome. By caring so fiercely, you bind yourself to the possibility of profound pain. Attachment is a chain around your heart, And every time reality yanks that chain, you hurt. The tighter you cling, the deeper it cuts when things fall apart. Caring tangled with clinging becomes a double-edged sword that cuts deepest when your grip is tight. Schopenhauer didn't sugarcoat it. Life swings like a pendulum between pain and boredom. When you chase what you want, you suffer. When you get it, you feel brief relief, then new longing. Contentment always slips away. It sounds bleak, but look at your life. Moments of true satisfaction have been fleeting. As long as you believe you can't be happy without something, you condemn yourself to grief. You feel this truth deep inside. Part of you always knew it, but hearing it aloud gives it power. You wish it weren't true. You want to believe that if you care enough and do everything right, you'll get the love or success you yearn for. But life doesn't work that way, does it? And that realization hurts almost as much as the losses themselves. Schopenhauer was called the philosopher of pessimism for a reason. He said that to live is to suffer because we always want something. For someone like you who feels deeply, that sounds like a curse. It rings true with every heartbreak you've endured. Maybe it's not you who's broken for hurting so much. Maybe life itself is rigged to break hearts that care. So what do you do with this knowledge? If caring leads to suffering, the obvious answer is to stop caring, to shield yourself from desire and attachment. But anyone who's tried knows it's not that simple. You can't flip a switch and shut off your heart. Yet after being burned so badly, you find yourself trying. Maybe feeling nothing is better than risking more pain. After enough heartbreak, something in you changes. You build walls and vow never to let anything cut you that deep again. You pull back from others and lower your expectations. Over time, it becomes second nature. You go numb. The vibrant colors of your emotional world fade to gray. It's safer that way, right? Numbness becomes your armor. If you don't feel much, you can't hurt much. At least, that's what you tell yourself. So you smother your hopes before the world can crush them. You act like you don't care, even though deep inside you still do. You stop expecting kindness or happy endings. On the surface, you seem untouchable. Inside, you've traded one kind of pain for another. When you numb the pain, you numb the joy too. Days pass in a flat line of feeling. You might not cry anymore, but you don't laugh like you used to either. You've become a ghost in your own life, watching from a distance. You're protecting yourself by abandoning the part of you that hopes and cares. Sometimes late at night, you feel nothing, and it terrifies you. Did you kill something essential inside your soul? You're so good at pretending not to care that you almost believe it. Almost. Because in those unguarded moments, the truth seeps out. You still yearn for things. You still care. You've locked that part of you in a cage so it can't get hurt again. The armor you wear is heavy. It shields you, yes, but it weighs you down. You walk through life isolated within it. People can't hurt you, but they also can't reach you. You can't be betrayed, but you can't be loved either. Not truly, because you won't let anyone in. This is the paradox of your self-made numbness. You feel safer, yet more alone than ever. Over time, that safety hardens into silent bitterness. You scoff at genuine emotion in others. You even take pride in not needing anyone. But behind that pride is a lonely child crying out for what you've denied yourself. You see people loving, laughing, risking, and part of you envies their innocence, while another part thinks, fools, they'll learn. You've traded heartache for a cold sanctuary. Is this really living? Is a life without hurt worth it if it comes without warmth? You've survived, yes, but are you truly alive? These questions whisper in the back of your mind. In trying not to care, you've carved out a piece of your humanity. The whole remains, even if you refuse to look at it. You realize something important. Shutting down isn't healing. Numbness isn't victory over pain. It's a ceasefire. The war inside you never truly ended. You retreated. There must be another way to live, one not ruled by the fear of heartbreak, yet not devoid of feeling. This realization flickers like a candle in the darkness. Slowly, you discover that shutting down your heart isn't the same as saving it. Perhaps it's not caring itself that's the problem, but the expectations chained to it. Maybe it's not caring itself that's the problem, but the strings attached to it. What if you could love or pursue something without insisting it must last forever or be returned in kind? What if you could give without clinging to a reward? It sounds impossible, but liberating. It's the first crack of light in your armor. This is the essence of detachment. Not cold apathy, but a warm, calm freedom. You still care, but you stop trying to control how life unfolds. You let go of the obsession that people must act a certain way or outcomes must match your hopes. You love, you strive, but you also accept whatever will be. In that acceptance lies profound freedom. Don't mistake detachment for not caring. It's not indifference. It lets you care in a purer way, because your ego isn't tied to the outcome. Picture holding the world like a butterfly in your hand, gently, without crushing it. You love and pursue goals, but with an open hand. If the butterfly stays, you cherish it. If it flies away, you let it go. Either way, you remain whole. When you let go of expectations, disappointments lose their bite. You become resilient. Instead of thinking, I need this to happen or I'll be miserable, you think, I'll give my best and accept whatever happens. You might still feel sad or hurt, but the pain is cleaner and passes sooner. You're not feeding it with endless what-ifs of how it should have been. Picture clinging to a rope tied to a speeding car. That rope is your attachment. The tighter you hold, the more it burns you. Now ease your grip. Maybe you don't let go entirely, but you stop squeezing so hard. Suddenly it hurts less. Life still pulls, but you're not dragged. You walk at your own pace. Detachment is that loosening of the grip. Even Schopenhauer hinted at this solution. If endless wanting is the source of misery, easing those wants should ease the pain. He admired those who could renounce desires and find tranquility in simplicity. Detachment is a path to that tranquility without abandoning life. You're not running away or giving up on love. You're simply choosing not to let outcomes define your worth or peace. Practicing detachment feels strange at first. You catch yourself worrying, then gently remind yourself to let go. But soon, a lightness creeps in. You breathe easier, the knot in your stomach loosens. You're no longer living in constant fear of losing what you care about. You still care, but you trust you'll be okay regardless. It's like finding an island of calm in the storm. With a detachment, you become like a tree that bends in the wind instead of breaking. The storms of life blow, and yes, you sway, but you don't snap. Your roots hold firm deep within. This is a quiet strength. It's the power of letting go, of saying, I will be at peace with or without what I desire. This is freedom. When you detach, you take back the power you once gave away. No longer a puppet of other people's actions, you control your inner life. Ironically, detachment lets you love more honestly, because you're loving from choice, not need. You can say, I want you in my life, but I'll be whole even if you aren't. That is a fearless kind of love. In letting go, you find yourself again. The pieces of you that were scattered by disappointment come back. You stand taller and breathe deeper. Your happiness is yours to shape now. By loosening your grip on what you love, you paradoxically hold onto your own soul. You become unbreakable in a way you never were when every whim could throw you into chaos. Yet in this calm, a question lingers. What have you lost? In protecting yourself so well, do you miss the wild intensity of feeling alive? The highs aren't as high, the colors have faded. That's the price of avoiding the lowest lows. You wonder, is this peaceful plateau what you wanted, or a new kind of emptiness? Sometimes you almost miss when you felt with reckless abandon. When love was fireworks and even pain made you feel alive. Now life is steadier, quieter. You worry that by cutting off attachment, you've numbed part of your passion. How do you keep your heart alive without inviting chaos? Detachment can feel like walking a high ridge. One side is despair, the other is joy. By staying in the middle, you avoid the abyss, but never reach the highest peak. You gain safety, but lose some thrill. The world no longer breaks you, but it also doesn't sweep you off your feet. You live in a gentle twilight. It's a heavy toll. To never suffer as deeply, you chose to never love blindly. Sometimes you grieve that trade, though it saved you. Late at night, you wonder if you've become too detached, if you sacrificed too much heart for peace of mind. That doubt means you're still human, still craving connection. It means you care about not caring too much, a paradox. Perhaps true wisdom lies in balance, neither drowning in attachment nor isolating in detachment. Learn to walk that fine line. Feel deeply, but let go gracefully. Give love and effort wholeheartedly, but accept that everything is temporary. This balance isn't easy, but it might be the path to a life both full and free. Love someone fully while remembering their journey is their own, and my happiness is my own. Or chase a dream boldly and tell yourself, if I succeed, I will celebrate. If I fail, I will learn. In this way, you taste life's richness without overdosing on it. You dance with life without being shackled to it. This balanced detachment gives you a quiet power. You can take part in life's drama and also step back from it without losing yourself. You feel the waves without being swept away. People around you might not understand your composure, but they sense your strength. The strength of someone who can love the world fully, knowing they can't keep it. You see that caring and detachment were never enemies. Together, they form deeper love and wiser hope. You say to life, I love you, but you cannot break me. I appreciate you, but I do not own you. I am here fully and ready to let go when I must. This is love that liberates, not enslaves. In finding this balance, you feel a quiet pride. Not the pride of being invulnerable, but the pride of having survived and grown. You wear your scars as marks of wisdom now. You no longer see your caring nature as weakness. It's a strength that needed guidance. With detachment to guide it, your heart stays soft but doesn't shatter at every touch. You've learned to care without crushing yourself. So, why does caring hurt? Because we tie our happiness to what we care about. But there is another way. You can care deeply while still standing strong in yourself. It's not easy, but it's possible, and worth it. The freedom and peace you gain are worth unlearning your old patterns. Now it's your turn to choose. Will you remain a captive to your attachments or step into freedom? Will you cling to familiar pain or risk a new way of living? Imagine the rest of your life unchained, able to love without fear. to give without losing yourself. That life can be yours if you want it. The choice has always been yours. If you're ready to break those chains, declare it. Tell yourself and tell the world that you will not be ruled by fear and longing. Write, "I choose freedom over attachment" in the comments. Let it be more than a comment. Let it be a commitment, a line in the sand of your life. Today, you decide that your heart will be free. And if this message resonated with you, join us. Subscribe for continued growth and reflection. Not for vanity or numbers, but for your own evolution. Each video is another step out of the shadows and into understanding. We're building a space for minds that refuse to settle for easy lies. If that's you, join us. Until next time, remember this: you're the keeper of your soul's keys, no one else. You can lock yourself in the prison of attachment, or you can set yourself free. The power of detachment is yours to claim. Take a deep breath, unclench your heart's fist, and step forward. Goodbye, or rather, let go.